today we have a new Instagram live, and my guest of today is Shama Sikander. Shama Sikander is an Indian actress, which you may know from her lead roles in TV shows like Yeh Meri Life Hai, but also from the web series Ab Dil Ki Sunn, which focuses on mental health awareness. And a lot of people still see that as a taboo, but she tries to break those barriers. So that's also a reason why I want to talk to her today. But she also starred in a lot of Bollywood movies, and one recent one is Bypass Road, which you can stream on Netflix. And she has also starred in the web series Maaya, which you can watch online. But she was also nominated and screened at the Friends Film Festival. And her work isn't only entertaining but also educational, and I cannot wait to talk to her today about it. Hi, how are
Hi,
you?
Claire.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. I was just watching your life.
I Today I have lots of live planned. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. But how are you holding up now? Because you try to be active during quarantine.
Yeah. I mean, so far so good.
Mhm.
Uh, I'm a very spiritual person and very positive, so that helps.
Yeah.
But yes, human at times. I do feel very lost and sad and angry or
Mhm.
whatever. These mixed emotions do occur in my brain. But
Yeah.
the best part is that I'm pretty aware, and I just whenever those thoughts come, I just tell myself that these are just thoughts, and they'll, it's
Real
just
fast.
it's not permanent, it's temporary, and it's gonna go away. And
Yeah.
let's just be positive and do things that really makes me happy. And um, I like to listen to music, so I'll listen to music, and I like to tell myself that it's just like any other normal day,
Mm-hmm.
like not to worry.
Yeah.
I just have to Being an actor also helps because we are used to doing things, and we're used to telling our mind and training our mind to sort of play a particular character. So right now I'm
Yeah.
just thinking like, okay, so this is my job. I wake up and I get ready, and I probably cook, and I probably clean my house, and I probably rearrange my wardrobe and stuff like that I have not done
Uh-huh.
in so long. So yeah, just like that. I mean, so far so good. I also know that we all have this great amount of patience and courage and strength to go through
Mhm.
anything.
Yeah.
We often think that we are not capable of, or we may not be able to go through this, but we actually be
Very
surprised.
strong. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very strong. So
Yeah.
that's something that my depression and bipolar taught me.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
So
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, yeah, because I also wanted to say that what I really love about you is that you have been open about everything, your personal
Right.
life, your career, but also about your mental health. So I would
Right.
love to talk about it all in this life. But
Absolutely. Absolutely.
let's start at the beginning because you
Uh-huh.
started acting at a really young age.
Right.
Uh, did you always wanted to do that, or did you have a plan B for if that wasn't going to be a success?
So I started very young, and my father chose this profession for me
Yeah.
because I was too young to take any decision on my own. And we went through a very big financial crisis, and I was very much active in acting and dancing in my school. I used to
Mhm.
take part in a lot of dramas and dance shows in the school. So he thought that and I was very interested in watching films and narrating the stories, come back home, and sort of be the because everybody did not or couldn't afford to go to a movie theater, or couldn't afford a television in my small town where I'm from. And we had all that, so I used to go to everybody, or I used to collect people, and I used to tell them the whole story,
Yeah.
scene by scene. So I was their movie somehow narrator. And my father saw all that, and he thought it is what I like, and he was right that this is what I liked, and it came naturally to me. I did not have to do any hard work to be an actor. So
Yeah.
so he
You're a
thought like
natural
this would,
actor.
yeah, i was
Yeah.
i was born actor. So he thought like this would be something that I would really enjoy. So he put me through an acting school, and then we had this very Mumbai went through a very big phase at the time of the bomb blast happened in 1991. And I
Yeah.
was very, very young, and we all were stuck here, and we had nothing to eat. And I've seen really drastic kind of pandemical situations in my life, you know, since the time I'm born. So I've been somehow somewhat trained to go through this in a way. And then we had no choice. I think that this passion of mine became my work. You know, this was the only thing that I knew that I could do at such a young age. I hadn't done any other study, or I did not have any plan B. I did not have any plan for that matter. I don't believe, I never believed in plan in my life. Yeah, so this is the only thing. And yeah, that's how I became an actor. And here I am today.
Yeah, because you have done so many different things. You have done television, movies, web series.
Yes.
What has been the difference between those, and what do you like the most, and why?
See, as an actor, I don't think anything is different. I mean, they're all, for me, I just have to perform. Yeah. Could be anywhere, anyhow. Yes, for technically, if you see, you know, the camera setup may be different. The kind of TV shows that I've done are also very, very big. They were probably the biggest in their time. So one TV show that I did with Yash Raj was even futuristic. Like at that time, not even movies were having so much technical support that we had for that show. It's called Seven. If you ever have a chance to watch it, please do watch it. So I've been very lucky and blessed that way, that whatever production I worked with, they were pretty big, and they were, all the shows were very iconic that I did on TV or even web. Like I worked, you know, on web when no actor was actually, no known actor was doing web at that time when I started. And when I started, everybody just, like, you know, joined in because of the kind of the quality work that I did on web. And that was also by film directors who have made really big films in their lives, and they like gave it all, and they made a big show, and then people could see how web shows can be made so big and so beautifully. And now and now it's like it's a phenomenon. Everybody just like to watch all web content because it's just gone so big. So that way I have been very lucky. I don't see, I honestly, I don't see any difference between any of these other than the screens are different. You know, the web portal can be on your mobile, but nowadays you can watch a movie also on your mobile. You know, I mean, the only difference is that 75 mm and then the TV is whatever size television you have, and the phone whatever. So that's the only difference I see. Other than that, work wise, they're all the same now. I mean, television used to be extremely hectic. We wouldn't get even time to breathe because I was the lead of all the shows, and all the scenes were revolving around me. So I was like, if there are 21 scenes, I was in 19 scenes at least. So yeah, like I did not have the time to breathe, at least in films and web, because they're already pre-planned, and there's no like, oh, we don't have any quota now, we need to shoot right now and send the tape right now because it needs to be telecasted tomorrow. That scenario does not exist in movies and web. You know, they're already pre-planned, and then you shoot it before, and then you later on release it. So that way we have a little bit breather.
For television, you're also stuck for like a year or two or more.
Yes. So yeah, I mean, that's also different, that, you know, you play a character and then you become a household name, and then everybody just like to see you like that. You know? And everybody starts to say like, you know, I mean, it has its positive and negative, you know, but like people also love you, and then they start calling you with the character name, and a lot of them don't even, sorry for that. That is one thing. And in a way, like, I did not do any TV show more than a year or a year and a half because it would bore me as an actor. I would not see myself growing, because, you know, you're just playing this one character and you're just stuck in this whole zone, and you don't sort of, you know, you don't have any way to get out of it. So luckily I did every show for 1.5 years. I did not get stuck in anything for 4 years or 5 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's all nice. But also your web series, I really loved it, Ab Dil Ki Sunn, because I've never seen something like that before.
Thank you so much.
No problem. But what was the idea behind it?
So that was my first home production. I produced it, and the whole idea was mine. As I said, I went through depression and bipolar, and when I got out of it, it took me 5 years. It took me 1 year to even realize what was wrong with me, and is there something wrong with me? Is this an illness, or is this just some life situation? Because a lot of us did not know at that time, at least when I spoke about depression and bipolar, nobody knew what is depression, what is bipolar disorder. I mean, is there something like that? Does it even happen to people? And is it an illness? Like, because if you are going through something that's related to your mind, everybody starts to call you crazy or mental, or
or something.
she's oh my gosh, she's out of her mind, or he's out of his mind. Just everybody starts to like deviate from you, and they don't want to be related to you anymore. But so when I went through, I saw all these things, and I it took me a year, and then finally a friend of mine who had read psychology said that I think you have bipolar disorder, and I was like, what the hell's that? So that was news to me. In spite of being so educated, and in spite of like seeing the world, I had no freaking idea what a bipolar disorder is. So when I went through it, and I took medicines for 5 years, and what all they did to me, and I went through a lot of dark time in my life, and it took me real lot of courage. That's when I learned that we do have courage. We just don't know until we are thrown towards something that looks impossible to us, and that's when we realize our true power, that it's not impossible, it's just something that's testing you. So if you can and people who have gone through depression and bipolar and who have come out of it, only they can understand what I'm saying right now, that if you can if you have gone through depression or some mental illness in your life and you have come out as a winner, you can go through any pandemic, you can go through anything in life, because it makes you so strong. It makes you aware of your own power as a human being, of your own capabilities,
what you're capable of,
your limitlessness, so when I got out of it, I just felt that this was like, it became like almost my calling. Like, it used to not let me sleep. It kept like, there was this voice that kept coming from inside, like, you need to share this, you need to tell people, because I'm sure there are many people who don't know about it. And you need to just help people, help people. And it took me but it took me a long time to understand, how can I help people? Like, I'm just sitting in my house, and I had kind of taken a break from work. I wasn't talking to anybody for 5 years. I was literally in isolation. And so when you come back to the world, it's a new world altogether. A lot of things changes in 5 years, and then you realize, oh my god, like, how do I and I was thinking, like whenever you think of helping somebody, somehow it just looks like it seems like a rocket science to you. It seems like, my god, I have to do something really big to help somebody. But you don't realize that it doesn't have to be so big. It can be just a small thing, it's actually is a small thing, because you so I was just thinking, and like, how do I help, and I was like, I just got this inner voice, like, share. What do you do as a human being? What do we do as a human being? I mean, all of us, we take birth, and then we give birth to other people, and what do? We share our knowledge, we share our DNA, we share our being with them. And that's how we grow the world. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I think, I can share, I can talk to people. And that's how I started talking to the press, and then the press wrote about it. And then a couple of people in the press did not write about it before, because they got scared, because they were like, oh my god, like, because I was such a big name, they were like, her life would be in jeopardy, because nobody would give her work if you write something like that. But because these are the fears, I mean, who would work with her if everybody knows that she's gone through this mental illness? Because that's what it's called. Like, people look very down upon it. And little did they know that I wasn't afraid of anything. I was like, I don't care if I get work or not. I just want to share with people, and I just want to save somebody, because I have tried to commit suicide in my life, and I have been saved from it. So then, and I lost a lot of my friends after I got back. I mean, a lot of my friends died because of depression, because I somehow was not in touch with them, and they were far away from me. And then after a couple of years, I heard that they committed suicide because of depression or bipolar, or various reasons. Then you also see, every new day you keep hearing about this artist committed suicide, that one committed suicide, big names committed suicide because of depression. And I just, like, because when you go through, you understand that how powerful this darkness is, how much it owns you. It just owns you completely. Like, you have no absolutely no control over your thoughts, and they are dark, and trust me, they're dark, and they're the darkest you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
And you don't even need any other enemy to kill you. You
Nope.
are enough. You become your own self-destruction weapon. So that's why I felt like, my God, this is the most scariest disease ever. I mean, if anybody needs to be saved, then they needs to be saved from depression.
From
And
the
it was to my surprise that everybody is going through depression.
mm-hmm. A lot of,
Like,
yeah.
not even a
They
single
don't talk
person I
about
meet in
it.
the life
Yeah.
who comes completely happy and completely out of depression to me. I see a lot of them pretending to be.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of them in denial, but I definitely don't see a single person who's not gone through it, or going through it, or is capable of going through it in future.
Or they don't even recognize it
They don't
themselves.
recognize it because
Yeah.
they don't want to. Because you see, a lot of them don't even know that this is something. This
Mm-hmm.
this is a thing.
Yeah.
They don't even know, because we all just feel, okay, I'm just sad, I'm just extremely sad. I don't know why, but I'm just
I'm
extremely
having a
sad, and
bad
it's
day or
sadness,
something.
and it'll go. And
Yeah.
family, everybody just keep telling you that, it's okay, fine, don't worry, it'll go away. Why you are giving so much stress? Why are you taking so much stress? And don't bother about these things, and just forget about it.
Yeah.
Because they're not going through it, because they don't understand what
Mm-hmm.
this is. So when I came out of it, I just thought, like, it'd be great to share. And then, how could I, when I started sharing it with people, with press, a lot of press wrote about it, and a lot of people came back to me. A
Yeah.
lot of people. I was shocked. A lot of artists from my industry came to me and told me and shared with me that, how did you have the courage to share this? And I, for the
Wow.
first time, realized that it needed courage, because I had no freaking idea. All I wanted to do
You just
was
wanted
to
to share.
share.
Yeah.
And I was not ashamed of sharing anything, because I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I'm still fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more than fine. I'm better than before, in every way. So how is it anything bad?
Yeah.
But a lot of people came to me, a lot of big celebrities came to me, and they told me, how did you do this? I mean, this is amazing. And that's when I realized that maybe a lot of them are suffering and they're not able to say. And so how can I share more? And that's when I met a couple of people. Some people wanted to make some short stories with me, and then I was like, hey, how about I make short stories about excerpts from my life,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of sort of fictionalize it, and make it relatable to everybody.
Yeah.
And and I met this whole team who were also probably going through depression, and they were young people, and they wanted to, like, share this with people, and they wanted to tell the world that um, uh, this is real, and
Mm-hmm.
it happens to us. So all their belief, and all of us together, sitting together, and, like, really, like, reading each other's minds, and trying to take out those scripts was a bit challenging, but it was worthwhile, because we didn't want to speak much. We didn't want to say too many words. We wanted
Sure.
people to feel it, and
Yeah.
we wanted it to be as less words as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And because words can be different from each and every person's experience, your language, your word, your experience can be yours. It comes
Yeah.
from your experience, and I might not be able to understand that, but
Mm-hmm.
a feeling is universal.
Yeah.
Feelings does not have any language barrier, or any conditioning barrier. Feeling
Mm-hmm.
is a feeling. It happens to all of us. So we just made these 7 short films, and we called it Ab Dil Ki Sunn, because I realized, in all this fight, I realized that, you can go to a doctor and you can take all the medicines, and medicines don't do anything. All they
No.
do is they just make you feel groggy. They make you feel sleepy. They basically just delay the process of you. They sort
Getting.
of make you incapable of trying to commit suicide again,
Yeah.
because you're
You're
so
just not.
sleepy you can barely think about anything.
Yeah.
But that's not good also. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I was frustrated because I couldn't speak to people for 5 years. It took me 5 years to come back to my senses, because whatever people would talk to me would just go over my head. It
Yeah.
would just not register in my mind. And I hated myself, because I would wake up in the morning with no desire of waking up, but I was still awake, and I was still, like, talking to my family, and whoever, whatever, and I had no idea what was happening to me, because of
Yeah.
those pills. They were so heavy drugs. So I realized this. Everybody thinks that depression is something really big, like some rocket science. It's no rocket science. It's actually very, very simple.
Yeah.
Depression is a state of feeling lovelessness. When you feel no love within, you're depressed. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. And what do you do to fix it? You find love. You find things that makes you feel loved again. You
Yeah. And can
find
be a
people
healthy
that makes you feel
experience.
loved again. You
Yeah.
do things that makes you feel good about yourself. you, why is it called Ab Dil Ki Sunn? That means listen to your heart. It's because
Mm-hmm.
you've been neglecting your heart all this while, and that's why you are here where you are. And
Yeah.
now is the time to listen to your heart and do those things, do the right things, because your heart will never suggest you to do anything wrong, you
No.
know. So that was the whole idea, and that's how it came.
Oh wow, so beautiful. Can we expect more?
You know, I've been working on it, and it's so difficult, and it's difficult for the whole team. First of all,
Yeah.
to say your story in such a short span with less words, coming out of those kind of ideas where we don't look preachy. We want to connect with people and address different ideas, not only just mental health
Yeah.
awareness, but unfortunately, every act that we do is related to our mind
Mm-hmm.
somehow. So you know, you cannot just like neglect that. And at the same time, we want to address new issues as well. We want to address issues with children. We want to address issues with elderly people. We want to address
Yeah.
issues at different stages of life. So it's taking a little time, but I'm positive that we will come out with something more, absolutely, very
Okay.
soon.
I cannot wait.
Right.
But you also been in the industry for many years now.
Uh-huh.
What has been your favorite role and why? If you can choose one.
Wow. My favorite role is not yet released. I just finished shooting for a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can't take the name, but
Oh,
it's not released yet. That's my most favorite role, and when you will see the movie, we will again, hopefully, inshallah, chat about that.
yeah.
You'll understand why I said this is my most favorite role.
Okay.
But let me tell you, from whatever's released, I would say, oh God, like I never choose anything that's not my most favorite. I
Yeah.
always choose things that are that really touches my heart, and that is different than one another.
Mm-hmm.
So they are all my most favorite. But I would say the first TV show that I did, where I was launched on television, was called Yeh Meri Life Hai.
Yeah.
That was my most favorite till now, because it was my first show,
Mm-hmm.
and I was very young, and with a lot of desire and hope and life, you know. And I
Yeah.
miss that sometimes. I all this experience of life and this wiseness has somehow made me very quiet. It's made me very calm. Sometimes, very rarely, sometimes I miss that bubbliness. That people still find me bubbly from time to time. They still think I'm cute and whatnot. But I feel like that age and that time, the whole everything about that show was just so
Everything was
special to me.
new.
Yes, and that's what gave me all the name, that
Mhm.
people knew me because of that show. That was the most popular show at that time. So yeah, I'll be
Okay.
forever
Okay.
grateful for that.
Nice. But are there other projects this year you can tell us more about, or is everything hush hush for now?
I was going to start shooting for three new projects in April, March, and April, but unfortunately, they are now all on hold because of this pandemic, and
Yeah.
we don't know how long this is going to go on. I mean, in a city like Mumbai, I don't see anything opening before 2 months.
No.
So, and after that, we don't know how people are going to be, what frame of mind they are going to be, because
Mhm.
2 3 months of not doing anything changes a lot of things.
Yeah.
It changes the world, it changes the worldview, and that changes a lot of things. So I don't know if I should be even talking about those things right now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
But also, even in this day and age, talking about mental health is something a lot of people don't want to talk about, or
Right.
even first they don't even recognize that they maybe need help.
Hmm.
And you've always been really open about your mental health. But what was it like for you when you discovered, like, okay, something is going wrong, and you just said that it was in a conversation?
What did I feel like when something like this started to happen to me?
Oh yeah, more like when you finally knew what was going on. What was your experience then?
See, by the time I came to know about what was going on with me, I was already very numb.
Mm,
That's what depression does to you. It makes you
yeah.
numb. You know, it and you hear things, and they don't affect you anymore,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to be. I didn't want to be alive, because I couldn't take that burden of being alive every day like a vegetable and not have any desire, any
Yeah.
hope, anything. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
you lose your hope, and that's the worst state to be in, because when you have hope, you you have desires, you
Yeah,
have,
you have something to live for.
yeah, something to live for, something to look forward to. You want to do something. Like even this whole pandemic is happening today, but people are still hopeful. They want to live. They want to see the next day. I did not want to see the next day. I did not want any of that to happen to me, and so strongly that I hated each day waking up. I hated myself each day, and I hated everything, every quality about me that people liked. And I, because I suddenly you start doubting everything, and there's this one self of yours which is standing and is continuously nagging in your ears. So when you go through all of that, nothing really matters, honestly. And so it didn't matter to me. And I was anyways, I've always been a person, because I've fought every battle of my own on my own. I have been the eldest in the family. We have seen the biggest financial crisis in my family. We've seen poverty. We've seen days when we didn't have food to eat. We've seen days when we didn't have a home to stay. We've stayed in buildings where there was like these construction buildings with like putting our own bed sheets around, so we, without windows, so we can have some kind of dark in that. So I've seen all those kind of days. I've seen the time when Bombay was burning everywhere. Yeah, I have seen a really bad time. So all that just made me kind of numb towards people, because I learned that people don't care. People just, everybody here at that time, at least I felt like that, everybody here just wants to take something from you. And I didn't care what they thought about me. I just wanted to be somebody. I wanted to make enough money so that my family could survive and have a decent life, and that's what I worked for. So to me, being ashamed or feeling anything about people, no, that didn't even matter. It didn't even come anywhere. um, uh, but knowing about my own illness, like it's an illness, that also didn't matter at that time, because I was like so blank, so blank. I just didn't care what it was.
Really dark.
Yeah, really dark. I was in a very, very dark place. So when my family saved me, I had a huge fight with them, and I was like, why did you save me? And obviously everybody had their own reasons, and they sort of told me things and all that. But I hated them for a long time for saving me, because it took me another 3 to 4 years to get out of that darkness and to feel light again, or to feel like smiling again. I would not smile, and I'm a person who loves to smile. I smile all the time. I'm laughing all the time. So for somebody like that to go that numb, like something really major was happening within me, and that made me really numb. So I did not feel anything, but I did realize one thing when I went through all of that, that there might be people who feel like that, because I'm different. I have my own reasons to not feel like that, and I'm probably differently made than everybody else. But there are people who care about the world. There are people who care about what people think of them, and because of that, they don't share. Mind you, I'll tell you, when I was doing press conferences for that series, so many people, the press wouldn't dare to ask me many questions in front of everybody, but all those press people, not even one single left out, to not ask me questions separately.
Oh wow.
Because they were so scared and so ashamed of asking in front of everybody.
Oh, that's so weird.
When I went to colleges, it's important. When I went to colleges and schools, I'm talking about young kids now who are pretty bold and open to say what they want to say. They would clap on my lectures. They would just like go crazy, but nobody, except 1%, nobody had the guts to say anything at that time. If I would say, okay, do you guys have any question? Nobody would say anything, but they would come and meet me outside, one by one. Because nobody wanted to say it in front of everybody that I am going through this problem. And that's when I realized, like, wow, this is such a taboo. I didn't think it was such a taboo, but it is. And that's what made me more vigilant to sort of go about it and, talk to people and make sure that people talk about it. Because if talking about it is such a big issue, imagine going through it, and that's why probably people feel so lonely. That's why they feel so stuck, and they don't know if anybody will understand them. And they just, a lot of them end up committing suicide because they just don't understand how to express this to people.
Because also there are a lot of people that don't want to talk about it. What advice would you give people that are struggling, and even their surroundings? Because sometimes surroundings want to help or don't know what to do.
The only thing that the surroundings can do to help is stay quiet and be there.
Mm-hmm.
And don't try to preach people with
Yeah.
your ideas of life, because at that time, whoever's going through depression cannot understand that
No.
and will not understand that. All they need to know is they're loved. As I said,
Yeah.
it's a state of lovelessness. You don't feel any love within. So
Mm-hmm.
just be there, make them feel that I'm here for you. Whenever you want to talk, whatever you want to do, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I just want to tell you that it's okay to feel like this.
Mm-hmm.
Stop telling them that it's not okay. Why are you doing this? Chalo, chalo, get up, get up, get up. Let's go do this, do that. It's not going to work on those people. They're very, very sensitive. They're extremely sensitive. You can't even imagine their sensitivity level.
Mm-hmm.
It's too sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, and
Everything
when you're
can-
at that, anything can just make them blast. And if they blast, just listen to it. I know it's difficult, but just listen to it and understand that, you know, it's okay. They need to take out that suppressed energy. Why they have reached at this place is because they've been suppressing themselves for a long time. All of us do. We suppress so much because our society has trained us to not be ourselves. Our society has conditioned us to not be yourself and say what you really, really want to say.
Yeah.
We are
Very
all so
accordingly.
trained to lie all the time, and one day our being is going to ask us, hey, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
I don't want to lie anymore. I want to be myself. Like, can you just let me breathe? And that being would want to come out, and that's when you need to help that being, because you are the one. It's happened because of you, because you did not take care of yourself. You let this happen to yourself. If somebody came and threw some kind of shitty things on you, you took it.
Yeah, true.
You did not stop it. You should have stopped it then and there.
Yeah.
You know, so it made me more vocal about my feelings. It made me be it any kind of feeling, anger, humiliation, love. I started expressing more love to people because I realized how fragile life is. Anything can happen anytime. You know, we can all think, oh, tomorrow, day after, this next year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You can make 10,000 goals, and then you fall into depression and you don't know tomorrow you may die.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't know what's going to happen. The bloody pandemic happens. So many things are unpredictable. They happen in the world. So you must be very, very vocal about your love. You must learn to express your love to whoever you love, and don't expect them to love you back.
No. Yeah.
But be vocal. It's just like a holding up energy, you know. Let it out. Let it flow. You know,
Just be
and you
honest
will
with
receive it.
yourself and to others.
Yeah, you should talk to your friends. You should talk to people who you believe in, and you know, who you think can understand you, even if they don't understand you, even if you think that, oh, this person will never understand what I'm saying, but at least say your thing.
Yeah, it's good
Doesn't
for
matter.
you. Then you can
Yeah,
be
it's good for you. Yes. And that person will also go home, maybe might fight with you at that moment, but when he or she goes home, when they're sitting in quiet, when no other sound is disturbing them, they will think about it.
Yeah. Okay. But before we end this interview, because I really loved chatting to you, but what's your personal mantra you live by?
There's only one mantra of life that, for me, love matters the most. And when you prioritize things, when you keep everything, like, you know, I've heard this question: how do we declutter our life? I always feel like it's so easy. It's just like how do you segregate your cupboards? That this is my shirt corner, this is my pants corner, this is my, you know, lingerie, this is my this. You have everything in different pocket. Just like that, your life is just like that. You must learn to segregate things, and you must learn to declutter your life. You must learn to see and to be aware of what is really, really good for you. First of all, you need to know who you really are. You need to learn that, and meditation will help you learn that. When you go within in silence, it helps you learn that. It helps you learn about your choices, about who you really are. This is a body that I'm blessed with. This is not me.
No.
This is the car I drive. My car is not me, you know?
Yeah.
So you have to know that you're bigger than this body. Your consciousness is the universe, the whole universe within. It's the whole world. It's the whole universe. So you must know that that's the power you hold. And once you start knowing that, you become aware of your doings, your feelings, your thoughts, and then you know which thought to give energy to. You know, because once you start being aware of your thoughts, then you realize, oh my God, yeah, that's why I was so negative, because I gave so much energy to this thought. You literally, you can start seeing your thoughts like bubbles coming to you.
Yeah.
And when you let it go, you actually can visually see it come and go, come and go, come and go. So when
Mm.
you start seeing all these things so visually, it'll really, really help you. That's my mantra. I just believe in being positive. I just believe in being grateful, because we can be cribbing all our life. We crib any which ways, when we have things, when we don't have things. So how about we change a little, and how about we become thankful? I've
Yeah.
seen, like, it's just like, imagine you have a friend, and
Mm.
that friend, you have been doing things to your best ability to help the friend, and the
Mm.
friend just keeps telling you, you do nothing for me, you do da 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 da, you're always like this, you're always like that. How are you going to feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
you,
Shit.
you you're going to feel like shit. You're going to be like, excuse me, I do
Mm.
everything for you and still you tell me this. Okay, I
Yeah.
don't want to be your friend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. So if you keep sending that negativity, that cribbing to the universe is going to say, hey, excuse me, I've
Yeah.
given you life, I've given you everything that you have today, and you still crib to me. I mean, I don't
I
want to
will
be your
show
friend.
you. Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
happens. And imagine the opposite now. If you
Mm.
have a friend for whom you do whatever you do, and he or she is always grateful, you would want to do more for that friend, don't you?
Mhm.
You want
Yeah.
to give everything to that friend. So that's how the universe is. It will give you everything that you want if you are grateful to it.
Oh wow, that's a really beautiful comparison. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. So thank you so much for this interview, and I cannot wait for your upcoming projects. And
It
I
was
hope
my
to talk
pleasure.
to you then also. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Bye, guys. Thank you
Bye
for
bye.
being there. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Fleur. Take care.
Thank
Be
you.
blessed.
Bye bye.
Bye.